Hey guys, Justin here. Big surprise. More Forester stuff. Right now, I am marking out on my bumper and also on my bumper beam where I'm going to mount my tow strap. Because it came off when I was doing the other stuff. I didn't really have a good mounting point for it before. So now I'm going to make it happen. I am also going to be hopefully putting the heat shield for the turbo back on, because it does let off obviously a lot of heat. And I want to put the correct mount for the downpipe to transmission in place so it keeps the downpipe from moving around. And it just takes a lot of the pressure off from the turbo and actually the whole exhaust system. And also I want to fix the exhaust leak with the GrimmSpeed exhaust adapter that I have, since it's going from HKS to a Bosel system. The Bosel system needs a donut, and that's why it's leaking right now. So that should take care of that. I have what I think is long enough hardware, so we'll see if that works. And also going to be doing a little bit of debadging on decals. So trying to pinpoint which ones I want to keep, which ones I want to get rid of. I know less is more. And yeah, I think there might be a few other projects if I have time. Like I would like to re-bleed the brakes and that kind of stuff. I have a speed bleeder at home. I forgot it. So if someone drops by while I'm still working on the car, maybe I can con them into it. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll update you on this project right now. So taking the actual bumper beam down is very simple. It's only 3 bolts on each side. They're both 14mm head on each side. Then it just comes off. As for dismantling it, everything actually unbolts, which is super easy unlike a few of the other chassis. This guy goes on this side, obviously 4 bolts there, and then these 2 bolt holes here to hold it actually onto it. Again, both sides, all those are 12mm head bolts. What I'm going to do now is mock this up with this. I know where it needs to be because I already marked it with a Sharpie. So I just have to have the overhang so the metal doesn't pinch on the actual strap itself and then over time fray through it. So I'm going to mock that up in place, drill it. I'm going to drill an access point for behind it so I can get in there with a nut and a bolt, or just a wrench and a nut, because the bolt's going to go down to the top. But that will secure it, and then I'm going to put it all back together, slap it back on, and from there I'm going to cut my bumper itself. I also marked that out right here with a Sharpie. Can't really see it because it's black on black, but it's there. I know it. You'll see it. Yeah, start cutting shit up. Got it all back together. Got the tow strap mounted. Got some room left to right just in case it's pulled kind of sideways. We'll be pulling the bumper around. It's clean enough. I think it'll be fine. It looks good. I mean, race car, so who really cares? But aesthetically, it's not an eyesore. And it's mounted better than it was before too, so that's a plus. It didn't interfere with anything. The bumper still fits the same, no issues with that. And yeah, came out just like I wanted. So there's my tow strap. I decided to go and try to mock up my turbo heat shield next. Mocking up some brackets, seeing what works best for the angles. I'm going to use my Vermont Strong plate again. I think it worked well before. I don't know, it deflected heat, so must have worked. Yeah, I'm playing around. I got some room to work with because the piping, it's going to be an inch or two away from that, so it's going to be about centered in there. That's what I'm shooting for, at least. So, see how it goes. Project down. Another easy DIY success. It's in there. Not too flimsy, it doesn't hit anything. It has a good range of motion because of engine vibration, all that fun stuff, but yeah, clearance is good and it should work as it did before. So, another easy project down. Now, I don't know, do the exhaust? It might be the easiest thing next to do. Another simple one. And the exhaust leak's pretty bad, so I really want to get that done. So, yeah, I just talked myself into it. Next one is the GrimmSpeed adapter. So I am under the car. I have the jack stands in place so I do not die. It's actually pretty important to me. Under here, I'm going to be fixing the exhaust leak right here with the GrimmSpeed adapter, so it gives it the proper donut flange on one side for the bozal. I'm also going to be fixing what I think is the vibration through the chassis that I've been feeling. It appears one of the more performance blast plate bolts protrudes through the nut longer than I was expecting. So when it's up in the actual tranny tunnel, I'll try to show you so you can see. It's that guy up there. He's just barely touching the tranny tunnel. But when the motor's running, the tranny's shaking, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm feeling. It's pretty noticeable. So, hopefully that's it. I gotta try to get up there. I'm going to try to do it by dropping down the tranny cradle once I put a jack under the tranny to keep it in place. Dropping the tranny cradle, undoing the carrier bearing bushing thing, so that allows it to drop down when I let the tranny down on the jack a little bit more. Hopefully I'll be able to drop it down a couple inches. By doing that, I'm probably going to have to also undo the dog bone up top, just so it can articulate a little bit easier. But hopefully by doing that, I can get something up in there, whether it's a grinding wheel or I don't even care, even a sawzall, anything, just to take about an 1/8 inch off from that bolt, just so it doesn't make contact. That's the only thing under here that I'm seeing that's hitting, so it would make sense because it does resonate through the whole vehicle, and that's right in the center. So hopefully that is the noise. I'll only know after I trim it, put it all back together, fix everything, even this exhaust leak, because that was pretty loud also. I'll only know by driving, so we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. Alright, so after, is that better? I don't know. After some finesse, I was able to get the tranny cradle out. I had some issues with the tranny mount that is mounted to the cradle, so I just disconnected the actual mount from the transmission also, and I'll just swap it out with another Group N 5-speed SCI tranny mount that I already have. The threads on the one that went on was kind of buggered and I didn't realize it, so that's coming off. That's no issue. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm swapping out this bracket because it's bent to shit from shipping from the importer, and I wasn't able to, well no, I just didn't forget, I didn't remember to fix it before putting everything in, and then when I realized that the downpipe didn't fit, I couldn't get something on this enough to bend it back, so I have to put on the USDM one which mounts to the side. And the tranny does have the correct mounting for the USDM one. So that's pretty cool in my book. And now I should be able to drop the tranny down enough to get up in here, right here where my hand is. I'm trimming down that bolt right there. So should be able to drop it down a little bit more when I release the tranny. I already have enough slack on the drive shaft and everything else, so I guess we will see how this goes. Oh, I didn't show you before, but these are the Subi Mod silver and bushings that I put in when I did the initial tranny swap. And I don't think there's anything else really worth showing. But yeah, that's the situation I am in right now. The issue with the tranny mount. This stud is stripped out, and this one just spins. So I believe it's just spinning inside the actual mount itself. So don't use any form of impacts, anything like that. I think when I got it, I already had a little bit of issue because this is the first time me putting it in, but I think I finished it off, so it happens. Luckily, I have my old one, which has no issues whatsoever. I just cleaned up the threads, and yeah, it's another Group N 5-speed mount. Same difference. I just won't strip this one out. I'll do everything by hand. But yeah, I have to either cut this guy or wedge something in there and then impact it off, and hopefully it gives it enough pressure to help it work its way out. I don't know, we'll see. It turns out that one was just stripped out too. So yeah, no impacts. That's a good idea. I was able to get up in there. Not sure if you can really see it. Where that yellow is. That's paint from the Sawzall blade. I was able to trim that bolt. So hopefully there are no other rattles. As far as I could tell, that was the only one hitting. Everything else has good clearance. So wait and see on the test drive, I guess. One from under the car, I promise. I was able to cut the bolt, and there is clearance. Easily more than 1/8 inch. Hopefully that's enough. Got everything buttoned back up. I got the other downpipe mount in place that mounts to the tranny, and I also have the GrimmSpeed donut flange adapter in place, and it's pretty good. It's pretty straightforward. So as far as I'm concerned, everything should be fine. No more rattles, no more very loud exhaust noise. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I guess I am done. Fingers crossed. Nothing else has issues. I don't really want to get back onto here again. But yeah, this should be it. I'll do a final walkthrough when I get back up and I'm not dizzy. Alright, so today I got everything I wanted to done. I backed the car out of the garage. I don't hear an exhaust leak, and I also don't hear a rattle. Those were the two main things I really wanted to do. Everything else was... Oh, listen how quiet that is. Everything else was just busy work while I was waiting for my dad to drop off the ramps that I forgot over at their house. But yeah, let's take a quick little test drive and see what's up. I don't hear any rattles whatsoever. It sounds just just like the car before the tranny swap, with the exception of the louder exhaust because I did the HKS downpipe. I am very happy, extremely happy. I was worried that there were other things that were causing issues. It was just that rattle in the exhaust leak. That is it. The other day when I went for a beater run, not really a beater run, I just went for a drive, I noticed that the fuel pump was maxing out. And right now I'm just running an access port until I get tuned, which is in a few weeks. Oh, that sounds so good, with exception of my tools in the back. But yeah, I can only assume that it's the factory fuel pump, not even a Walbro or anything in the tank. So I'll at least throw a Walbro in, so I got the fuel pressure and everything, so everything should be copacetic. But besides the fuel pump for the tune, all I need is the turbo inlet. Those are the only two things I want to do before the tune. Everything else, I'm trying to keep it simplified. I'm only doing the inlet. I want to go with the agency power inlet, so it's a hard one. I'm only going with that because I want just a free airflow exhaust, or intake, intake. So it's not a necessity to make a little bit more power. I just want to do it while I'm doing everything, and then I'm actually getting tuned. And yeah, the car feels good, it sounds good, I don't hear any vibrations. Before, it was just going through the whole car. It's all you could hear. If anyone's had that issue before, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no rattle whatsoever. I'm a happy man. Maybe doing the inland fuel pump next weekend? Not sure. That'd be really nice though. I'd love to get that over with, and then I would love to be able to schedule my tune with Kinetic as soon as possible, because I got a couple busy weekends coming up, and I don't know, I'll make something happen. But yeah, today, success. Did like 5 small little projects, 2, maybe 3 big ones. I had to do the exhaust leak. I knew something was up with the group end tranny mount. I knew something was up with that, and it was my fault. I just made it worse. And then, yeah, just shaving down that bolt. But yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. The fun stuff after the parts install. The fun stuff will be the dyno tune. And then shortly after that, I get back to racing. Thank God. I'm just jonesing for it. But yeah, check back next time. Thanks for watching.